If you don't have any flashlights or lanterns when the power goes out, what are you going to use as a light source? Today we're diving into 4 of the weirdest survival lighting hacks that I could find and letting you know which ones are sparks and which ones are duds. If you can't find a flashlight or a lantern, your next choice is probably going to be a candle. But candles can be pretty dim and you're going to need a lot of them to light up a room. So how can we make one brighter? Well, hack number 1 says that if you cut open an aluminum soda can, that you can stick your candle inside and it will make your candle a lot brighter. So let's see if that actually works. So I've got my empty soda can here. I've also got a box cutter, my small candle, and a lighter. First step, I am going to take my box cutter and slice a cut right down the middle of the can, and then sort of 4 horizontal cuts along that vertical cut, and then folding that open, sort of like doors. So once I fold that open, we have our little candle holder ready. So let's test it out. I'm gonna be testing out how bright a candle in the candle holder is versus just the regular candle in the same dark room. So let's get started. The soda candle does make the room a little bit brighter. It really concentrates all the light right in one central place. So I would say that this hack is true. This hack is pretty easy. You just have to be careful not to cut yourself on the tin can. But other than that, fairly easy, not a lot of steps or materials involved. So I would say if you find yourself in an outage and you can find a soda can, put a candle in there and you'll make it a whole lot brighter. So this hack is good to use. What if you've got that soda can lying around but you don't have a candle handy? Well, that's where hack number 2 comes in. Hack number 2 says you can make a DIY oil lamp out of a soda can, some oil, and a paper towel. So that's what I've got here. I've got my empty soda can, my vegetable oil. I'm using vegetable oil. The hack called for olive oil, but vegetable oil was a bit cheaper. I didn't want to waste all that olive oil. And then a single paper towel. I'm filling the soda can about halfway up with the vegetable oil. Once I've got that filled, I am going to take my paper towel and I am rolling it up, getting it nice and tight to create a wick. Once I've got that rolled, I'm gonna stick it straight down into the soda can. And let's light it and see if it works. Now, I had high hopes at first because the flame seemed pretty good, pretty controlled. I felt like it was going to burn like an oil lamp normally does. It also created a whole lot of smoke and there was some ash when I was moving it from place to place. So might not be the best idea to do this inside. The flame also extinguished itself once it burned off the entire top of the wick. So it's not gonna burn for very long. There's a possibility you could relight it, or maybe the oil level needed to be higher, but I really just didn't want to put that much oil into it. So I'm gonna say that this hack is busted. I wouldn't try it, I wouldn't use it. If I was in a dire situation, I might use it. If I literally only had a soda can, a paper towel, oil, and a lighter. But usually if you've got a lighter, you can find something better to light. So both those hacks used soda cans. What if you don't have a soda can lying around? Can you still do an emergency lighting hack? The answer is yes, if you have crayons lying around. I know this hack has sort of circulated on social media a lot. I've seen it for several years and had to try it for myself. So this hack says that a single crayon will burn as an emergency light for up to 30 minutes. Let's see if that actually works. Here's my crayon. I've also got a metal Altoid tin to stick the crayon onto. Since it's metal, if the crayon were to fall, it wouldn't burn through. I've also got a paper plate under that to catch any ash in case the crayon were to fall. And I've got my lighter. First off, I'm taking my crayon and I am melting the tip of the crayon down, dripping that wax onto the Altoid tin. Then I'm gonna stick the crayon down in that wax on the Altoid tin so the crayon is more secured while it's burning. Next step is just to light the crayon. It does take a minute to light because you're lighting the paper, not the wax. So sometimes the wax has to melt a little bit before you can get to the paper, and then it lights. And it lights pretty good. It burns pretty tall actually, which could be a downfall of this hack. Doing this inside, it's not really safe to have that large of an open flame. It does create a bit of smoke and a bit of smoke smell, which you don't really want in your house. But it burns, so that's part 1 of the hack. But part 2, will it burn for 30 minutes? I set a timer up beside the crayon candle and set my camera up and just filmed it the whole time while it was burning. And it burned for about 20 minutes, so not quite 30. It would depend on your crayon size. Larger crayons obviously would burn longer, but if you've got just the standard Crayola crayon like I've got, you're looking at about 20 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. So not quite 30 minutes, but 20 minutes is honestly pretty impressive for a single crayon, let's be honest. So this hack is correct in that you can use a crayon as emergency lighting. It'll work, it'll burn for 20 to 30 minutes. Do I recommend the hack? No. It can be very dangerous. It can fall over and start a fire. We really don't want that to happen. The flame got really tall, so it's not really safe to be moving around this crayon. Like I say, it could really easily fall over and start a fire, so I don't recommend this. Now, if you're in a really dire situation and for some reason the only thing you can find is a crayon and a lighter, and you really need to keep a fire going, keep a flame going, sure, try the crayon hack. But don't keep this in your arsenal of survival lighting hacks in case the power goes out. Don't keep crayons in your survival kit. Definitely just get an emergency candle there. This last hack is for you if you need a lantern, but you only have a headlamp handy. This hack says that if you take your headlamp and strap it up against a bottle filled with water or a clear liquid, that you'll create a makeshift lantern. So let's try it out. I've got my jug of water here. It's pretty large, but you can use large ones, you can use small ones, you can just use a regular personal water bottle. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take your headlamp, turn it on, and then you're gonna fasten it so that the light of the headlamp is shining into the water bottle. This is gonna be what causes the illumination. So here's our headlamp lantern. This hack is much more reasonable than some of the other hacks, and I could definitely see a use for it if you've used all your lanterns and you'd like to have one more that's larger. Definitely could use a headlamp and a jug of water. So I would say this hack works, and I would recommend doing it if you're ever in a situation where you do need that other lantern. There you have it. There's 4 debunked survival lighting hacks. Let us know in the comments if you've ever tried one of these hacks, if you'd ever try one of these hacks, or if you have another survival lighting hack that maybe you've used and has worked. Let us know in the comments. Would love to hear. And let us know in the comments if there's any other weird survival hack that you'd like for us to debunk. You might see it in another video. See you next time.